Y'all, when I tell you, every 2.5 to 3 years, I have the most vile technical difficulties. My editing software suddenly just didn't want to work. My laptop decided to just not be capable of handling the size of my files and editing. So I had to buy a whole different laptop and I had to restart all of my tech because everything was just decided to say, we're not going to work today. So that's why some things have been a little wonky. Anyways, kind of fallen down a rabbit hole of dating coaches and courses. I found a coach that apparently also is a part of a reality TV show. Oh yeah, and she sells course what we need in the dating world. So we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be hopping into. Before you hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of all my videos. Don't forget to also check out my second channel where we have my podcast episodes and also just other more personal things to me, which is so much fun. Also, again, don't forget to check out my podcast called the I've Got You podcast and all my other platforms as well. And now without further ado, let's get into it. But real quickly though, I do want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor. So I know technically we're talking about dating coaches today, but we're going to be talking about another little fun aspect that to me is good for anyone. Whether you're dating, you're not dating, I would love to introduce you to Lovehoney. Lovehoney is an award-winning global designer and online retailer of sex toys and lingerie. They're on a mission to bring sexual happiness to everyone by banishing taboos around sex and intimacy. I need to talk to y'all about one thing. Look at her. Isn't she pretty? We need to talk about the Womanizer blend, okay? Because wow. So Blend is Womanizer's easy-to-use rabbit vibrator that has dual simulations. It has an ergonomically curved shape with flexible arm. Blend is perfect for one-handed dual stimulation or hands-free. It also has 2 motors with separate controls, 8 intensities, and 6 vibration modes to allow for customization of sensation. I would love for you guys to try out Blend today. So what you guys can do is go down the link in the description below and pin comment and use the code IsabellaBlend to get 20% off of your order today. Thank you so much to Lovehoney for partnering with me on today's video. And now let's get into it. So this is Nelly Sudri. She says, I help high value singles find love. Okay, featured on Roku, Forbes, Cosmo, Daily Mail, DM me to get started. She is on a show actually that is called Match Me in Miami on Roku. So Nelly has had some very interesting content. So when I can look, because I was looking at her age and everything, I'm trying to get a feel of what this dating coach is all about, right? Because she looks fairly young. So she's 28 years old. So first thing I have to say about this is hot take, maybe not. I don't think I would necessarily trust someone who's 28 dating coaching necessarily. I just can't comprehend that per se. I would consider someone maybe in their mid-30s or even up that had like a lot more experience. It's like she's kind of displaying herself as a professional of, I know how to get you a man. I know how to get you a girl. I am not a fan. I'm not going to be a fan of that, but we need to get into it. The second thing I want to say is this woman is unmarried, okay? Not even in a relationship. Now, all right, I want to be very honest with this. I'm in a relationship. I also was, previously not in one. So I had multiple times where I would give advice to people of this is what I've learned on the way. And it was more about boundaries. But keep in mind, this was free advice, okay? I also made it clear that I'm a random goofy on the internet. And I state that many times. I'm a random person on the internet. I'm giving you what I've learned. That's that. This woman is trying to charge for it. It's not even to me like she has like, oh my God, I have an amazing partner that I'm dating or having a good dating history from what I can see. Oh, I'm actually married. So it's kind of throwing me off that a dating coach is like not in a good long-term relationship and her own skills aren't necessarily working for her. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of throwing me off how we're going to go from, hi, I can teach you how to find a person. Okay, well then why aren't you fucking wifed up? Like, you know what I mean? This is where it gets you in trouble when you label yourself as a professional. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, you do that, now you're looking a little goofy, but enough of me yapping. Let's get into some of the content that she has posted.
If you are interested in a high value man and you want him to pursue you, then these are 4 tips that you need to start implementing ASAP. And this is based.
Okay, real quickly, I have to say, I am in a very lovely long-term relationship, the healthiest I've ever been in. Yeah. Anyways, I'm telling you, y'all know me. okay? You know how I am. If you've been watching, you know I'm a very intense person. You know I tell it how it is. I'm hyper independent. I'm an incredibly strong-willed person. And guess what? I still got locked in, okay? So I'm just saying, I feel like she's gonna be wrong on a lot of this. And it's gonna be kind of, you know, like, make sure the man likes you shit, you know?
On me coaching many of these men and knowing many of them myself. Okay, so first thing is a high value man is not like any average guy. And I can maybe define that in another video, but if you think you're dealing with one, then you absolutely, this is the first tip, need to be present. Ladies, I see so many of you on dates, Instagramming, and you see like a little finger in the background, or you're like taking a selfie. Men don't like that, especially these types of guys, okay? They want privacy, and if you're on your phone all the time, it just makes it look like you'd rather be somewhere else. Which brings me to tip number 2, be classy. Now this could be a whole—
Oh my God, nothing makes me want to rip my fucking eyeballs out of my sockets more than when someone says, act more ladylike, act more classy. How about you choke on my balls? How about you suck them so fiercely? How about you suck them so long and so much that they turn to little fucking raisins? How about you keep sucking them till the cows come home? I'm so tired of that. Why can't people just be comfortable in the way that they want to be? Like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever said. I actually don't think my man would have been drawn to me. I was very, you know, this. And you know what that man did? He gobbled that shit. He's like, yep, I want that, okay? So if this goes out to give you some hope, if you can want to act like yourself and be yourself, the right person will come along. You can find an amazing person for you and be yourself. You should not have to do this whole be softer, be classy, be that. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Because actually, here's a quick question. Are we putting any of these labels on the guys?
Video in and of itself, but it's about how you carry yourself. So if you're like half naked and twerking and all of these things, yeah, he might sleep with you, but he's not going to take you seriously as potential girlfriend material because—
Oh, okay, got it. A couple things I need to make very clear. This person's a fucking loser. I think we've already established that. Let's make this very clear on my end. Women can be excessively modest if they want to. Like, I'm talking covering from head to toe. I want that for you. If you want that for you, I want that for you. You can also be 100% half naked. You can be fully naked. You could be an OnlyFans girl. I am not gonna judge either way, because guess what? You can have respect for yourself and be the best version of you in any way that looks for you. Half of this shit is really rooted in purity culture and just being weird. If you wanna be super modest, do that, but you are not better and a better person or holier than thou by shitting on the other girl who wants to wear a thin piece of string over her cooch. You're not really a girl's girl. And this whole act classy, he's not going to take you seriously if you throw ass. Okay, well, again, I don't know if any of y'all scroll through my Instagram, but I've posted a bikini pic or two, and they look pretty good. And guess what? My man was like, oh, that's how you come? Great. That's what you do? Okay, great. He doesn't give a rat's ass, because guess what? If you find a man that lines up with your morals, they're not going to give a fuck. They're going to be happy. They're going to be like, great, come as you are. They're going to like you as is. This is so stupid. I'm sorry. When did twerking become get burned at the stake? Hello? This is like a witch hunt. Nelly, you're pissing me off, Goofy.
Because he's going to assume you do that for every guy. If you're wondering how to be classy—
So because, okay, let me get this straight. So because you want to wear clothing that might be a little revealing, you're essentially saying, oh, you're doing it for another man. No, never once did I put on my, tubing mascara by Milani thinking, God, I really hope he likes this. Do you think I've dropped money on shoes because Jared wanted to fucking see them? Get a grip. This is dumb and exceptionally toxic. And why is this toxic? Because people who are trying to learn about the dating world are going to fall into this. And to me, what is this doing for women? This is setting themselves up for failure. You should not make girls and women just shrink into something, some little cookie cutter thing. Because guess what? I did that. It never worked out.
So just keep in mind that less is more. Which brings me to—
Okay, this is real fucking ironic you say less is more when you're literally overlining your lips, Nelly. Not overline your lips, but the house is glass, girl.
Tip number 3, be patient and don't assume you are the only one, okay? These are busy men, they have options. A lot of women don't like when they hear that, but the truth is, if you are being naive, you're only hurting yourself. And it makes you look like you don't have your own thing going for you. Which brings me to tip number 4, act innocent, okay? Stop competing, stop trying to prove yourself. And so many women—
all right, I've had enough. Act innocent. It is weird to tell women to make themselves smaller to fit a man's ego.
Women screw this up because they're on the date talking about what they do for a living and all the places they've traveled to. And I get it, you have done some cool things. But when a guy hears that, he's not thinking, oh, that's impressive. He's thinking, if she's already been there, done that, what can I offer her? So just be a little more.
Oh God, it's as if a man now doesn't fucking control the finances and they have to do something more than pay the bills. Get a grip, okay? Back in the day, the men were considered mainly providers and women had to stay home. Now that, women are allowed to get a bank account, a credit card without the signature of a husband, now since we can provide for ourselves, we don't have to accept the bare minimum. And it's really fascinating to me how first dates and dates are actually, supposed to be to get to know the other person, but you want a woman to minimize her, and it's not bragging, it's talking about what she does for a living, weirdo. So you want her to avoid doing that because the man's gonna be like, well, what can I do for her? Maybe be an emotionally intelligent person, and an actually healthy one at that. And by the way, for the other girlies out there who are like, God, what if I intimidate a man? Good. You're not gonna intimidate the right man. I dealt with that, by the way. And I'm sharing my personal experiences because I'm trying to debunk this shit and make people see some reality and not feel like they have to minimize themselves. And this goes for anyone, by the way, like any person, any gender, anyone, okay? If you are talking about what you do for a living and everything, and someone is getting insecure about that and weird, and they need to take care of their own stuff. I dealt with that for a very long time. I remember I would discuss this is what I do for a living. I cannot tell you how often it was that someone would get intimidated by what I did. It was I was like, what? How? My man? He accidentally found out my job. He was fascinated. He loved it. He was like, what do you do? Tell me about it. That's so impressive. He is my biggest supporter. And this is what I want for y'all when you see this. Your person should not be intimidated by that, and they should not feel smaller. They should be amazed at what you do. They should not be intimidated at that. That's so stupid. They should be like impressed that you have your own. So no, this is stupid. She's goofy. I don't like this.
If you like someone and you want them to be high-key obsessed with you, like worshiping the ground you walk on type of obsessed, then I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. But please use this responsibly, because if it gets in the wrong hands, it can break a lot of hearts, but it can also create a lot of love stories. So in order to explain how this works, I want you to think about a time you've been obsessed with someone. Chances are they were blowing up your phone, texting you 24/7, telling you all the things you wanted to hear, and then one day it just poof, came to a screeching halt. And you were just left hanging, desperately awaiting contact from them. What does any of this have to do with you making this person obsessed? You're gonna steal the same formula. You are gonna send mixed messages. And for anyone who thinks this is toxic, it's only toxic if you have no intention of being with this person. Otherwise, it's
why do you need to play games to get something to work out?
Calculated. So how do you send mixed messages? The key is to be super engaging and present around them, but be a little disinterested when you're not. And
be disinterested and cold, like through text? Why? What do you gain from that? To me, that sounds manipulative as hell. Like, I'm gonna be really, really great with you, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna be weird of a text. That's like almost anxiety creating another person of like, did I do something wrong? Is it like, that's not fair.
The key to really pulling this off, by the way, isn't to play hard to get, but to be hard to get, okay? Be busy. That way you're naturally gonna be less available. So good luck, and remember, there is no shame in knowing how to play the game, honey. Just play responsibly.
Still makes no sense. It's one thing if you're busy, absolutely. Yeah, be busy, have a life. I think that's super important, but encouraging people to play games is gross. I don't like that. Okay, here's another hot take of hers.
So I'm not looking for a man. I mean, I'm not looking for a man, but I'm not on the prowl looking for a man. But if I was, I sure as hell would not be looking for a man in finance of all fields. Do you know how many drugs guys on Wall Street do? It is like cocaine and Adderall.
Okay, hey Nell, hey girly. Generalizing like this, I think, is really stupid. I just want to let you know, Nelly, I don't know if you connect the dots on this. Anyone of any profession can have an addiction and be on drugs. I don't think drugs discriminate according to jobs and job applications. Like I'm literally physically in pain from cringing so bad. What? Like, you see how stupid this, like, and don't get me wrong, there's some videos that she has where some of them I'm like, yeah, I would agree with that, but this shouldn't even be on her page. This should not even be a thing. Like, this is overcomplicating and being so confusing. Like, what the hell?
No, thank you. I will take any other profession, tech, sales, medicine, entrepreneurship.
I mean, there's people have a perspective that if they're in medicine, it's all Grey's Anatomy going on, and people are like in the broom closet. There's so many things, and like, people do this, people do this. And if you're a coach, why would you not say, hey, there's shitty people everywhere? That's a reality. But let's find the good one for you. Let's keep your standards high. So that way we avoid the shits and really try and find someone that aligns with our beliefs and our morals and is a good person to us. Is it really that hard to be an ethical person? And this is what kills me on this. I don't even think like this concept of giving dating advice. I love that. She could have had such a good job, I think, with this in a way that's so much more ethical, but this is gross to me.
But finance, okay? As far as trust fund goes, I'm out. Self-made club all the way when it comes to men. I don't think it's sexy when a guy has to call up his daddy and ask for permission or money. I also don't want to be married to someone's parents. And I think a lot of trust funders come with a lot of problems and they don't have the work ethic or the incentive the way self-made guys do. So no to trust fund. 6'5".
Again, what if someone's born with money and they're a really good person? Like, I'm just so confused by this.
Stereotype of like tall guy, no personality. It's kind of true. True. So I would actually rather a guy who's 5'10", but I'm also not super tall myself, and I'm not trying to have like basketball player babies, just me. So yeah, no to 6'5", and blue eyes are okay, hazel eyes are okay, brown eyes are okay, green eyes are okay. Honestly, all eyes are okay as long as they're on me. But 6'5", trust fund, finance, no thanks. Just my thoughts. Bye.
Mine's 6'1". He's fucking hilarious. What is up with this? So I guess she's referencing like a TikTok song on there about like looking for a man with finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes, that. But like her perspectives on this are so unrealistic and unhealthy. Okay, one last thing I'm going to show you with her and we're going to be done. And then we're going to look at her course, okay?
Ladies, in the early stages of dating, this is something you should avoid bringing up around a guy if you want him to commit to you. And admittedly, this is something that I have even done. And as someone who sets up single and successful men for a living, I am a matchmaker and dating coach.
Doesn't mean you're good at it.
I have even realized that this is a big no-no, and a lot of you do this. And that is discussing future plans early on.
It is literally okay for you to make it clear to somebody that you're not here to screw around and you want something serious. It is okay for you to say, hey, by the way, like these are the things and the things that are important to me that I'm looking for in the future. If this doesn't align with you, then we are probably going to need to go our separate ways because these things need to align if we are working for something serious. The right person is not going to care, and normalizing people dating and wasting their time and not making clear of their goals and what they're hoping for their future is utterly insane.
Future plans, things like marriage, children, timelines, where you want to live, like all of these things, if he's not bringing them up, do not bring them up, because even though they are just standard conversation for you, to a guy, especially a man who's never been married and doesn't have children, it can feel really overwhelming and it can make him feel pressured. And even if he's in a place where he's ready for that, if you're bringing it up first, it'll make him feel like he needs to give you an answer.
Yes. It is okay for a woman to bring up what she wants. Why? It's so funny because why is she saying that he can bring it up, but she can't? You should be able to bring up, hey, this is what I want in my life. And I really hope that we can align. And if not, then we need to have a conversation. That is very, very fair. You're not putting any crazy pressure. You're just making it clear that you're not here to waste your time. Why are we wanting to normalize women sitting here and being the silent, happy girl, being all innocent and waiting for him to bring it up? You need to know so that way you can leave. Like, this is stupid.
And commit to you right away. Even if he doesn't need to commit to you right away, that's just how men think. And for a man to...
Like, for example, you would not want to go into business with someone. And sorry, but I will compare this to a business transaction because this is the best way that I can compare it to, okay? If you're going into business with somebody, you should be able to look into things like, okay, what does the business want long term? How are they going to work? For example, if they have certain business decisions that they want to make that do not align with you, that's probably not going to be a good partnership. Like, that makes no sense. So why is it that we have higher criteria when it comes to business collaborations? Apparently, women can ask these questions when they're starting to date someone. Are you dense?
Feel even more in his masculine energy. He wants to be the one to set the pace and set the tone for those things. So my advice is talk about literally anything else. Follow for more dating tips and good luck.
Let's get into this course. This is Nelly Sudri, matchmaking and dating. So this is her course for women manifesting Mr. Right. Are you a single, independent, and intelligent woman in seek of a high value man? If so, look no further than the 12-step manifesting Mr. Right system. It is designed to teach you how to use the art of feminine energy to make men chase, court, and commit to you. No more fuckboys. This course is a game changer. Hey, Nell, quick question. Here's the mic. Where's yours? I would never be someone that's like, well, you don't have a man. But she's labeling herself as a professional. And from what we can see, this is how you can get your guy. Where's yours, Nelly? If it is a game changer, if this course is a game changer, where's your man? I would never say that if she didn't post this stuff, by the way. Blaming other women for not having a man, I would never do. But if you're gonna act like you can change people's lives with your information and have all these wonderful things happen and label yourself as this, where is yours? I wanna know. Oh God, ew. For men, King of Hearts, how to date with dominance. All right, are you single, hardworking, and respectful man in seek of a feminine, nurturing, and supportive woman? If so, look no further. The 12-step King of Hearts system is designed to teach you how to use the art of masculine energy to make women respect and respond to you. No more getting ghosted or being used for free dinners. This course will take you from nice guy to man of her. All right, that's interesting. It's really funny how her says for women manifesting Mr. Right, but for men, King of Hearts. Like, it's very, very clear that this is the men are the dominant kings, and then the women, are just, they're there, No more getting ghosted or being used for free dinners versus, like, this is so stupid. This is also, I just want to let you know, you cannot control what other people do. If people ghost you, or if it doesn't work out on a date, that is part of life. The only thing you control is your standards and the way that you approach situations and handle that. Many times, it is not your fault. Some people have their own things that they got to get through and heal. But the person that really wants to work it out and the right person for you is going to make it work. Literally, this is overcomplicating things to such a degree. And so when I actually click on her, her course, by the way, it says the 10-step guide on how to make high value men chase you. And she has a whole video, which I will very quickly show some clips, but it is quite expensive, by the way. Let me show you apparently the pricing on this, but I am not a fan at all.
Online dating never worked for me. At first I thought maybe my standards are just too astronomically high. I also wondered if I was too intimidating to the types of high value men that I wanted to attract, and wondered why I always ended up getting ghosted or dating players. I started to believe that I would either have to settle for less or stay single forever, because the types of men that I wanted to attract never seemed to ask me out. And when they did, they would lose interest. But then over the last year, I learned a secret that changed everything. So how did a relatively average girl like me, I'm by no means a supermodel, become a magnet for high value men? And looks aside, I'm career driven, intelligent, and an independent woman who always thought that my life was what was scaring men away. Well, it's all because I discovered a powerful secret called the limited distribution strategy. This secret not only led me to weed out the wrong guys on dating apps, but it also maximized the men I was meeting up with in real life. Who am I, and why the heck should you listen to me? Well, my name is Nelly, and I'm an internationally known dating coach. I've been featured in Yahoo News, Men's Health, and the front page of The Sun. I've amassed over 12 million likes on TikTok and Instagram combined, and I've helped change the dating lives of hundreds of thousands of women. But more importantly than that, I did something really weird. I went on over 200 dates in the span of 3 years, downloaded every dating app out there, spent tens of thousands of dollars traveling to the hottest destinations to see if, it changed depending on location, and I tried this out on men of all ages, income levels, and backgrounds. And I coached thousands of men and women, all to see whether my theory on how to attract high-value men worked. And I did this all so I could finally figure out the perfect dating system for women. So this is it. Not gonna lie, I rarely see any quality men like you on this app, and I hardly ever check it, but if you're interested in connecting in real life, text me, and then include your number. By the way, my offer expires in 72 hours, winky face. Yes, it's forward, and yes, it may be uncomfortable to send, but that's what makes it so powerful, ladies. By telling this guy that your first impression of him is that he's a quality man, he will want to rise to that label. It'll also show him that you have high standards, and even though he's initially meeting them based on your first impression, he will still have to earn a place in your life because you're a busy lady who is rarely even using the app. Trust me, no other women on dating apps are doing this, but this is just one step, the opening message. What about after that? What do you say when he actually texts you? How do you act on your date? How do you get him to become obsessed with meeting you and courting you? Do you really think all I had to offer you was a good opening line on a dating app? This is just the beginning. Building a man's interest online requires tact. You need to be using these emotional highs at every single step of the process in order to keep him chasing you and viewing you as this divine and dignified woman worth pursuing. Because he knows that if he doesn't, then another man is going to swoop in and he will do those things.
So yeah, there's that. I'm amazed that we need to have a course for this. And if you really know what you're doing, then just keep it to free tips. And maybe if you're actually good at it, then do one-on-one coaching. Like literally just do one-on-one coaching of guiding people on how to do better. That would make more sense. But these courses are stupid to me. She also has a matchmaking application. So she goes on to discuss that she's been doing this for a long time. She's a professional matchmaker who specializes in high value singles. She has expertise and resources to help you find exactly what you're looking for. If you do, Nelly, Why haven't you found it either? Countless happy couples have found love through her services. She works with singles from all walks of life, including LGBTQ+. Well, okay. Personally wouldn't trust that. Gotta be honest. I'm saying this in the nicest way possible. With the way that she speaks, it gives a very weird belief system. I'm not, So literally she'll ask all these questions of gender, sexual orientation, what's your industry or job, what's your annual income, who are you interested in working with, matchmaker, all of your photos. What kills me about this woman is very educated. She graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Communications from the University of Miami in 2017. She earned a certificate from Harvard Business School online in 2020 and eventually earned her master's degree in conflict resolution and negotiation from Columbia University. Like, she's smart. This is what kills me. She's smart, but she's pushing this bullshit. And you know what? Maybe she's smart enough to know that some people will take this bullshit, but this is what really irks me. If her advice online, like on TikTok and whatnot, wasn't so like yucky, I would be like, oh, cool. She has really good advice. She wants to specifically help you one-on-one with your situations. Great. I'm going to be honest. I would recommend you spending money on a therapist so much more than a matchmaker. A therapist is going to change your life and perspectives internally and externally. I would recommend that far more than this. But, you know, I think pricing is a little bit nuts, but this is what she does. Okay. There are many dating coaches out there. I am not a fan of a lot of them because of the way that they handle some things, or their advice can get in very like sexist, internalized misogyny, that like just things that are very like uneven and weird, very odd perspectives on certain people, very weird belief systems, wanting women to act a certain, I don't like that. That's gross. I don't think that. Moral of the story, I think there's a lot of weirdos out there who, again, pretend that they're professionals. In my opinion, and again, my opinion alone, I do not believe them to be. If you are dating and have specific standards for yourself and you're not screwing around, there's going to be someone that's going to come along for you. Okay. And you do not have to minimize yourself, you can be you, and they're going to look at you and be like, wow. Okay. One thing that I actually learned that I thought was very important a long time ago was there might be people that are in your life that get really bothered with the bare minimum, but there's going to be someone that comes in your life that looks at you and says, oh, that's it. Like as if your bare minimum was all the things that you want. Oh, that's it. Okay, perfect. I can do that. Do not settle. Do not lower your standards to make some random comfy with you. That is not, you're going to be miserable. I do not like that. I think the advice is awful. I think the coach and course shit, not a fan. I would be more of a fan if the advice, in my opinion, was a lot better. But that was it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor in the link in the description below and pin comment. And I will see you guys in the next video.